Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
Call to order the Bellas Falls Union High School District is a special school board meeting. And I don't believe there's any adjustments to the agenda. Is that correct?
I have none.
Communication and public comments. I don't have anybody in the room. Is there anybody online?
I don't see anything online.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to unfinished business for discussion and action, at least some action, hopefully. We've just had a budget committee meeting and we've hashed out some things. Can I get somebody to start with a motion? And then we'll have some discussion. Oh, we got, well, let's make sure we do. We have Margot and David. Oh, who Thoroughly is.
Where's Margot? Yeah, she's right there.
You have 5.
You know who Thoroughly is?
I do not know who Thoroughly is.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's a quorum.
6 is a quorum.
4, 5. Yep.
Is Thoroughly a school board member? Can someone tell me that? Guess not. Not getting anything. We have 6 members present, so we have a quorum. Margot, can you give me a motion to get started, and then we will.
I'll make a motion that we start the meeting.
No, gotta have a motion.
Oh, to get started with the budget, you mean? I'm sorry, I missed that at the very beginning.
So Margot has made a motion to accept the budget of, give it to me, John,
Oh, good. All right, here I get it. We got it, maybe. Whoa, where's it? Come on back. So is that it? The $7,023,722.83.
There is a motion on the floor for a budget for the Bellas Falls Union High School for FY 22-23 for $7,230,722.83. And we're ready for this.
That's not the figure that's on there.
Is that not the right?
Okay, hold on. That's good. I don't have that in front of me, and I
The
was,
figure on the one that we just talked about that was passed out is $7,023,722.
That's what I just said.
And 83 cents.
Yeah. That's what I just said.
It didn't say 223. I heard 220.
so,
No, 7,023,000.
okay, I heard it wrong. Let me try that again, guys.
How's this? 7,023,722.83.
Okay, sorry, I tried to add a couple 100,000.
Nice try.
$7,023,722.83. Priscilla, would you like to speak? You got any discussion on the budget?
During committee, we had a good discussion about the needs for a variety of classes for our students. We do have a number of classes that fall below 10, but they're classes that many parents feel are necessary for our students to be able to be successful in college. There was some discussion about the need for online classes and whether some of those could be addressed through online classes instead, but sometimes that requires personalized instruction as well as the online person. So we did have that discussion. We do have an increase back in of a half language teacher where we were going to cut one. That's the classes that would be low level classes because Latin and German are not areas that are commonly addressed. I believe this board voted to have a trainer back a couple meetings ago, and so that is in there. Some help that Mr. Broadley. Well, it is down $479,085.29 from last year's budget. So we are seeing a decrease.
Okay, does anyone have any other questions or comments? We didn't get any new members in, so everyone was here at the budget meeting. It looks like, Jack, go ahead.
Yeah, I still think that this budget is a bit optimistic in terms of whether or not we're going to be able to live within it. I wouldn't be, I hope people won't be horribly shocked if we end up finding that we are operationally running a deficit later this year. But we have the good news that there is a pending surplus that may cushion that blow, and it's for that reason that I am comfortable supporting this budget.
Okay. I see no other hands or comments. I'd like to take a vote on this motion. And Ian, you're first, but I'm gonna have to ask you to abstain because you can't vote on the budget.
Yeah, I was planning on it anyway. Thanks. Yep, abstain.
Jack, what is your vote?
I'm going to be voting yes.
You, David?
Because I do not wish to oppose this budget, Molly, I am abstaining.
Priscilla?
Yes.
Margot?
Yes.
And I vote yes. I have 2 abstain and 4. Motion passes. Have director's comments. Margot?
I'm good at this time. Thank you.
Point of order.
Yes, Jack?
We will need to authorize you to create a warning unless we're planning on meeting yet again to do that. And you'll need to have a warning that will include certain language about what the changes are and all the rest of it. Since we don't have that in front of us, I would feel comfortable if we, as part of what we've just done, which is pass the budget, that we also authorize the chair to create a warning and to present it to board members for the signature. And that's the easiest way to clean that up.
Would you make that motion?
I would like to, if you don't mind. Yes. So this would be authorizing, having the board authorize the chair to create a warning, and because there's a lot of technical language in it, and to sign it and on behalf of the board.
Molly would like to offer an amendment.
Yes, David.
I believe that the warning requires the signatures of board members. So
Right, thank you. I stand corrected with that. Thank you, David. You're absolutely right.
I'll stand down on the amendment because I think Jack is going to remake his motion.
I will remake my motion to include the provision that board members will sign it.
Thank you.
Because otherwise you have to have another meeting to create and to sign it. And I'll bet you people are not eager to have yet another mini meeting.
Molly?
Could be wrong.
Yes, Priscilla.
I think we need more instruction in there because there are several warning levels on there. that need to be in that warning that this board should discuss before just blanketly.
Madam Chair, can I inquire from Priscilla what she's concerned about? Because, she may have a good point here. I'm not sure what she's talking about.
We were told that we have a fund balance, this year from 2021, and Mr. Haas gave us 892,374. If we want any money to be put in a reserve fund for capital improvements, we should address that issue here. We also need to vote on what was Article 8 last year and see if it's the same compensations that were put in last year for the board chair members and district clerk.
Those are all good points.
If I may.
Yes, sir.
So Glenn Hankins, who we are consulting with as a business manager, I did query him, and his recommendation was you can definitely use it to, reduce the overall expenditure. But he says, I think many of you know this, the difficulty is using fund balance as revenue comes next budget cycle when there is no fund balance.
Right.
And a reduction in the FY tax rate will likely make for more of a significant than usual increase for FY24.
Can I quickly kick us over the threshold? The superintendent's quite correct.
And he says reserving the fund for capital improvements provides funds for deferred maintenance projects or the unexpected. So that is his recommendation.
That would be mine too.
Is not to use it to offset the bottom line. I guess I would say if you're really feeling the need to, I wouldn't take that whole amount and really drop it, because you would be like we're saying, FY24 is going to be a shocker. Unless you have another fund balance left over, but.
And not with this budget. Priscilla, what are you thinking here? What do you want to do?
Well, I was just pulled out last year's warning, but I was going.
Yeah, no, I think you're making a really good point here. So I'm just wondering what we want. We need to do something. Otherwise, we're going to have another meeting to get this tidied up.
What we put in the reserve fund last year was 46,811 from the fiscal year balance.
Have we talked about driveways in this budget and all the usual fun stuff?
This
I don't have anything
was 2020. I'm sorry. This was
Yeah.
not 20. It was 2020. I'm looking at. I apologize.
It's all right.
What about the paving the driveway was in the 2021? I apologize to you. I'm back a year. I don't have the last year's one in front of me.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to allocate what we think is projected surplus for that. We don't have to use it, but at least it allows you to have that option. And at some point, that thing is going to disintegrate.
Can I go ahead and speak, Molly?
Yeah, I just asked Andy a question where he's just trying to see when this has to be done to know, because I don't,
20th.
I think.
20th, that sounds about right. I just.
We were entering into a bond in the one that I'm looking at for the driveway, which we'll end up having to do. We can't do that entire thing here. I know. We just have each year kind of put something in capital improvements fund so that it was there so that we could have it to use later. I wouldn't do the whole thing. I would do a portion, and not a huge amount, but by putting some in.
The chair has her hand up.
I'm sorry, Molly, go ahead, interrupt me. You're the chair.
I think that maybe John and I dropped the ball here. We weren't prepared for this tonight.
We didn't. We just found out.
And so I think Andy's looked it up. We gotta have it done by the 20th. Let's, let's try to have can we have like a quick meeting at a lunchtime or something? Where
Sure.
everybody just zooms in, we haven't gotta meet anywhere, and the articles will be sent to us ahead of time. We'll have a chance to look them over. I hate to do this hastily and not have it right.
I would be more comfortable with that. to be honest.
Is everybody okay with that? I feel like I even got a shaking yes head from David on this one.
Molly, one request when we do that, and this to both you and to Andy, we have had these authorizations to put money into a fund for the driveway, et cetera, et cetera. And we had a similar thing with Westminster and some capital work there. And the funny thing, both cases is I don't see a standing fund in our chart of accounts anywhere. And boy, I'd really like to. And so, one of the things we might be able to do during the period between now and when we next meet for our 5-minute midday meeting is to figure out where that is accounted for in our chart of accounts and how much actually should be put in it. Because I suspect that some of the, these miraculous reductions in spending are because we've got all this cash that actually is supposed to be allocated and we don't realize it.
Okay, we will work on that. What does your schedule look like? We set a time for that.
Can you do it Tuesday on?
There's a lot of color on there, Andy.
Sorry, guys.
Hold on, we're getting a time and date for this.
You make time anytime on Tuesday. Tuesday's a easy day for it.
Is Tuesday noon, everybody okay with lunchtime and not ahead or something?
Whatever.
And,
Okay, so, thank you, Jack, for bringing that up. I was so entailed the budget, that's all I had on my mind.
I was so happy that we weren't going to have another meeting, and now we're going to have another meeting. Sorry, Molly, I should have thrown a heads up on this before.
Tuesday, the 18th at noon, and we're just gonna zoom in.
I'm sending that out right now too.
Thanks.
And now, let's go with director's
And
comments.
we're gonna have this.
Yes, that's what we're doing. We'll have the articles ready,
Thank
and
you.
you'll have them to look at them beforehand. David, any comments?
Wait, I'm muted still. I'm going to say my comments for the 18th.
Perfect, thank you. Jack,
Well, I seem to have once again been the wet blanket at the party, but I hope that people will take my comments in the spirit that they've been offered tonight. We made a lot of progress. A little scared these numbers are inadequate, but I'm supporting the budget and go team.
Ian,
No comments, thanks.
Priscilla,
I'm basically all set. Just have a wonderful long weekend this weekend, and thank you, Molly, for everything that you're doing to get
Thank
this taken care of.
and I'm all set. Good night. Thank you. See you adjourned.